Caribbean faces threat from 4 major health emergencies, says PAHO. This story and more in the national report.
Did you know that the National Policy on Sports and Physical Activity has a cradle-to-grave concept? The objectives of the draft policy focuses on inclusiveness of all ages. It includes providing an enabling and non-discriminatory environment that will motivate citizens to actively participate in sports on all levels and across all age groups, to provide athletes from every sporting discipline who demonstrate the ability to become world-class performers with the opportunity to excel at that level, and providing all Grenadians with the opportunity to develop a solid technical foundation in sports. You have an opportunity to make further recommendations for the effectiveness of the National Policy on Sports and Physical Activity by attending the reconsultation meetings in your area. Get involved.
With the details to the news for Wednesday, October 12th, 2022, I am Kristen Mitchell. Director of the Pan-American Health Organization, Dr. Carriacou, says PAHO will continue to work with local health ministries to address the 4 health emergencies that are threatening the Caribbean region. They are monkeypox, polio, COVID-19, and the most recent being cholera. According to the director, cholera's resurgence in Haiti after 3 years is a reminder of how quickly diseases can spread. Health authorities in Haiti as of October 9th have confirmed 32 cases, 18 deaths, and over 200 cases awaiting confirmation.
Limited access to clean water is creating the perfect conditions for cholera, which is spread through contaminated water and food. Many cases are concentrated in areas affected by escalating street violence and gang activity. So it is likely that cases are significantly higher than the reported numbers. Lack of access to fuel also means that hospitals and healthcare centers are struggling to stay open. Despite these extremely difficult circumstances, the Haitian government, PAHO, and international partners are working to help the people of Haiti. PAHO has supported Haiti's Ministry of Health and international partners in setting up cholera treatment centers in affected areas.
Addressing COVID-19, the PAHO director says trends in the virus, both globally and in the Americas, are encouraging as it shows a sign of transitioning to a stage of control. She added that there is need to continue with testing and surveillance measures.
This is only possible if we continue to rely on testing and increase vaccination rates in every country. Over 70% of people in Latin America and the Caribbean have now been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. And while this is positive news, it hides the fact that over half of our member states are short of that target, and that 10 countries and territories have yet to reach even the 40% mark. PAHO is working with countries to ensure that everyone has access to vaccines. And we continue to call on all countries to work diligently to improve vaccination rates, especially among the most vulnerable, and to strengthen epidemiological surveillance.
With regards to polio, 4 countries in the region are faced with an extreme risk for polio, while 8 are considered high risk. Over 45,000 cases of monkeypox were recorded in the Caribbean, accounting for 63% of globally reported cases.
Our region is under pressure. Parallel health emergencies and fragile social, political, and natural environments highlight the importance of investing in and strengthening health systems. They also demonstrate the need for ongoing preparedness and swift response. We do not have the time to recover and prepare between health crises. We must work quickly with the tools that we have at hand to control these 4 health emergencies that are unfolding in the Americas today.
It's a matter of treating our Grenadian servants with dignity and respect. Words of Minister for Legal Affairs, Labour, Consumer Affairs and Attorney General, Senator Claudette Joseph, as she defended her government's request of $1 million to repatriate all foreign diplomats. Senator Joseph was at the time making her contributions in a sitting of the Upper House on Tuesday to debate government's request for additional funds under the Supplementary Appropriation Bill for the period January 1st to December 31st. The bill received resounding support at the sitting and was passed, giving government the green light to use the funds requested. The total sum of the supplementary appropriation bill is $194,702,991. However, $1 million will be used for recalling diplomats. This was challenged by opposition Senator Katisha Douglas.
Here we are today, allocating $1 million. It's a lot of money, you know. In these hard times, it's a lot of money. And we have so many important things to do in our country today to continue building and developing. Just asking for that $1 million to recall our diplomats. Couldn't we use that $1 million or some of it to provide life-saving medicine or other vital needs, especially for the poor and the vulnerable?
However, Senator Joseph says her government is careful in executing its duties the right way and treating citizens, especially those who have served our country, with respect and dignity.
In 2008, 2009, I did a case for a diplomat who was yanked from her posting in a very demoralizing manner. And it cost her more than twice as much as it should have cost her to get here. And government didn't take care of her well. And on her behalf, I sued the government. And we got a nice judgment. So there's precedent, and I know the precedent well. So I am particularly careful in advising my government to bring people back home properly and with dignity. Right? They are our people. So that's why it will cost some money. Some of them being out long, they have a whole house. Some of them have all the furniture, this, that. Some of them have to come with a container, a small container. So it's actually costly, and the cost of travel, as you know, has gone up a lot. The money is mainly to bring back our own people. Right? So what we've done is a total recall. And it may or may not be that some people will be reappointed. Because as you say, Senator, we are trying to move away from this sort of insularity that has plagued us. We're trying to get the best people for the job, not necessarily the people who support us best.
The Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation will be officially launched on Thursday, October 13th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. in Building Number 6 of the Financial Complex. With the new administrative thrust for national transformation, it is the priority of government to advance the implementation rate of state projects and programs while taking on a whole-of-government approach. This new ministry has also been tasked with ensuring the success of government's transformational agenda, which aims to advance Grenada's development through the reduction of poverty. Thursday's launch will provide an overview of its functions. Members of government will be in attendance, including its lead minister, Honorable Andy Williams, and Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Mitchell. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight, candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Sports enthusiasts in the parish of St. Mark is calling on the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture to consider boosting the sports tourism sector. This was one of the recommendations made by attendees at the ministry's sports policy consultation in Bonaire Tuesday evening. The aim of these consultations is to seek further recommendations from parish sports federation and associations for the implementations of the national policy on sports and physical activity. The community also spoke of the need for sports continuity in the education system, nutrition and psychological support for players, and salary for national players.
Continued training for persons, for example, who would have done the CSEC at the secondary school level. As it stands right now, there is really nothing that stands after. When you finish secondary school and you'd have gotten the physical education at the CSEC level, what is there for you? Even if you're a teacher, for example, when you're sent to college, there's nothing really for physical education. So there is not that continuity, really. So if Ministry of Sports, together with education, obviously, because I think these two obviously have to marry if we're talking about physical education and sport. If some form of training or program can be done at the college level to assist these coaches, because most of them, obviously, their passion is really in physical education and sport. I think that would be a real good.
We should look at sports tourism, and that is a critical part in developing our national sports policy. And in that regard, we should look at the national stadium. Over the years, we have been lighting a lot of grounds, and the national stadium, we want that stay back. But if we want to develop and we want to bring sports here, look at cricket, for example. You have the CPL, you play in St. Lucia and other places. Grenada was left out. We do have no night facilities for international cricket. So that should be a critical aspect in developing our national policy.
I brought up gloves in St. Mark's here one or two times, and I'm telling you, in the early days, we had Steve Mark, we had Rampa Forsyth, we have Oswald Clovey. But I promise you all, if we only get a chance to get us facilities in St. Mark's here, we will have a lot of Mike Tyson and a lot of Holyfield from St. Mark's, because we have a lot of great fighters here.
Permanent Secretary responsible for Youth, Sports and Culture, Norman Gilbert, says this exercise is critical as the recommendations will be used to drive the further development of sports in the community and on the national level. He added that sports tourism do in fact play a major role in the transformation agenda of the government.
We had a towing team that would have towed the UK, played a number of games against clubs there. We have a number of sporting clubs that are going to be coming in the off-season. In cricket, track and field, we would have hosted the Canadian athletic track and field team here before. Alan Francic and his team was here for training as well. We also will be hosting the first Rugby International tournament here in December. We have 32 playing nations from around the world who are going to be here in December as part of the sports tourism agenda at the National Cricket Stadium. And rugby will be a sport exposed. There is now a local rugby team organization that trains at Montrouge on Saturdays. And so it's a new sport being introduced, but also we recognize the sport tourism aspect. And we have been trying to work with the Grenada Tourism Authority to ensure that we find more avenues for sports tourism. So it's definitely one of the big things on the agenda, and we believe that it can help to improve our economic situation. What I would probably like to see is more of the outer parishes getting involved and benefiting. We note that we have a few teams in cricket, junior and all-age teams that visit in the off-season, and they normally would play at the smaller grounds, Plains in St. Patrick's, River Sally, also at Progress Park. But we want to get those visiting teams to interact more with our local teams.
Finally, in the news, a 10-member national female volleyball team left the island on Wednesday to participate in the Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Association Senior Women Championship in Dutch Sint Maarten, scheduled for October 12th to 16th. The team, which has been through extensive training over the past 5 months, will face off against teams from Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, St. Eustatius, St. Lucia, and host country Dutch St. Martin. Grenada has always had a commendable showing during these competitions, and Captain Jamila Billy is confident that her team is ready to show their skills, play competitive matches, bring home the coveted top prize.
What I expect from my team, we decided to go out and we are going out hard, I know for sure, and we are not underestimating no team, but we are going out with a fight, and I have full confidence in my team that we can come home with a trophy.
The Grenada delegation includes Jamila Billy, captain, Jilmar Clark, Sienna Dominic, Christelle Jones, Tessia Jones, Kishanis Mitchell, Shakina R., Ezia Paul Mitchell, Rachel Phillip, Tharnia Williams Mitchell, assistant coach Stacey Lake, coach manager Barbara Bernard, and referee Devon Paul. That story has brought us to the end of the National Report for today, Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. On behalf of the entire news and production team here at the Government Information Service, I am Chrisanne Mitchell, saying thank you for joining us.